One of the most powerful ways to protect your hormones and your skin is actually to protect your boundaries. And with protecting boundaries, no doubt you would disappoint other people. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about finding the courage to disappoint people and feeling safe in ourselves when we disappoint others. So, I wanted to start by sharing with you my experience with disappointing others. I think the first memory is really disappointing my dad. I think I was quite less than 10 years old. My mom used to always tell us, make sure we get the good grades because we don't want dad to stress out. Otherwise, I don't know, or mom will get the cane out because we didn't study. So that was disappointing in terms of achievement. And then the secondly was disappointing in terms of how I look. So I think I was 10 years old and I was I was quite a chubby child. I loved my food. I loved the outdoors, running around. So I was not the ladylike child, if there is such a word. Ladylike, prim and proper. I was quite rowdy when I was younger. And my dad, he, I know now reflecting back, I know he didn't mean it, but at the time, he would always make fun of me being fat. And questioning, why am I fat and all that, because I remember growing up, I would hear him very subliminal. He would criticize people either walking by or, people that we know, if he's fat. So he equates it to being lazy. And so I can't remember the full conversation, but all I remember is I let out this huge, raging. I was so upset. I was so upset, crying, shaking, and I just screamed at him saying, "Please stop calling me fat," or if I'm fat, that means you don't love me. And it was really, you know, I mean, I can feel it in my body. I was shaking that much. Even now, thinking about it, I can actually remember that. And that was the earliest time that I remember. And my dad kept very quiet. He didn't say anything, and I stormed off to the room. My mother had to come after me, and I don't know what my mom said, but I actually felt guilty for raising my voice at my dad, for for losing my cool, and I actually wrote a letter to my dad apologizing. Even to this day, I do not know whether he read that letter. He can't remember. It's amazing what, as children, what we remember and what we store in our bodies. So from that day onward, I withdrew. I withdrew in myself, and I didn't want to disappoint others because I didn't want, people to lose love, inclusion, and validation. So that was my earliest memories. And since then, I would say now, last few years, I used to get very anxious of disappointing people. That, like I said, by default, I will people please. And I did a video before on people pleasing, costing your skin's peace. And now I I would feel like if I'm going to potentially disappoint people, I will be like a porcupine. My defenses are up already. So I will go into in the defense before I even ask. So of course, when I'm asking, I'm almost expecting a fight. So that younger part of me is like who couldn't speak up when she was younger. The older me just like, no, I am not taking this. And so of course now I've learned to handle it a different way because I do believe it is possible to disappoint others without losing ourselves. So that's another discussion I will kind of lead on to. What I find is when I'm tired, I get anxious much quicker and I am not able to make I'm more reactive. So when I'm tired, I'm more reactive. So when my anxiety comes up, when I want to disappoint somebody or I need to disappoint because I need to say no or it doesn't suit me, sometimes I will do it because it feels safer and I don't have to deal with it. or I'm just so tired I don't want to explain myself, which is ridiculous because in a way, if you don't feel like doing something, you don't actually have to, you know, when you're older, you don't have to explain yourself. When you're saying no, why do we need to explain our decisions and our choices? And that came to a maximum peak of my people pleasing and disappointing others when I had to break up with a business partner of mine. And I've been working with her for like about 4 years. And I saw her almost like my soul sister. We were that close, you know. We would exchange clothes. We had similar backgrounds in terms of country, education. We both lost a parent as well, and we both, love our family. And by little, reflecting back, that became very toxic at the end, and it came to the point where I was making bad decisions because I didn't want to disappoint him, and that was a good way to not a good way to live. And the beginning, you might not think is anything, and she would reward me. The beginning, said that she appreciated what I was doing, but little by little, it was never enough. It was never enough, and the bar keep moving forward. The goalposts keep moving forward, and I lost money to her. Almost lost my identity. Actually, I lost my identity to her as well, and it was, yeah, it was a difficult season, a very difficult few years. And so breaking ties with her was the biggest thing that I had to do to disappoint her. And in the midst of healing, my support system that I felt that I could rely on fell through. And that shattered my world. And again, I had to learn to pick myself up and learn to not not betray myself, because I realized by not disappointing others in the expense of our own energy and our own peace, we are betraying ourselves, and we are losing little parts of us, losing our energy, losing our life force, if you like, because skin, it may be a physical barrier, but it's also an energetic barrier as well. And I mean, think about it. Sometimes, if you go near somebody, you feel like, oh, they give up this vibe that, okay, you don't want to go near them, or they give this vibe that, oh, it feels warm, that I can chat with you, you're friendly. So that this energetic vibe that comes off from their skin. There's a term called leaky skin syndrome. So similar to leaky gut syndrome, where things can pass through, irritation can, or what's it called? Reactive antigens can pass through the gut. So there's also a leaky skin syndrome, where the epidermal barrier is weak or impaired. And usually with that, our skin's a lot more sensitive, more reactive. But you think about it on an energetic level. If our skin is weak and our barrier is weak, then it's easy for us to lose energy, but it's easy for people, things, environment, or circumstances to affect us or react to us. And with that, then we will feel scared, fear, anxiety, maybe guilt, shame, all that comes up. And with all that is fuel for our cortisol, our stress hormone cortisol. And when our stress hormone cortisol is consistently high, then increases inflammation, we get breakouts, rashes, maybe worsening of rosacea, dermatitis, or psoriasis, or eczema as well. So that's kind of outside in terms of like the leaky skin syndrome. But also internally, when we're not able to express ourselves, then or we don't feel safe to express ourselves, then our skin from the outside is trying to protect us in, trying to keep us in, because no, if you can't express yourself because it's not safe. Okay, if you say so, people will not love us, people will not accept us, you're gonna get hurt. So our skin is just protecting us. So our skin is not bad when they break out, when they flare out. It's just trying to protect us. And I love this term. Every mark on your skin is a sign, is a moment when your skin protected you. So I've truly believed that, not just from the UV rays or even from trauma or other people as well. So when we're trying to express ourselves or rupture, then in trying to push things out, so think about knocking from the inside, like, kind of cystic acne coming out. And if as you're moving, as you're slowly learning to stand on your own feet, feel more, and build the confidence and courage to say no and disappoint people, there will be a time where you the identity you had, the identity that the person you were, and the identity, the person that you want to be. And in this middle part, there is who you are now. Okay. At the beginning, everything is kind of, all one and one, but little by little, the disparity increases from where you were to where you want to be. So think about, it's like almost your 2 feet, like straddling on both ropes or both roads. And it's it can be confusing, it can be scary, it can be quite jarring as well, depending on what's going on at the same time. If you're on your own dealing with it, that's fine. But if other people are trying to shake you up, whether pulling you from the the new future or pulling you back from your past, it can be a splitting of your identities. And when it's splitting, then you think of, okay, my skin is splitting. And this is how I find that when your skin becomes more sensitive, reactive, it's like, could it be internally, energetically, you are torn. You're torn. People might say, I feel like I'm out of my skin. I don't recognize myself. I don't feel on myself. I just can't, name it or put my finger in it. And it's all related. It's really all related. So by disappointing other people, we prevent or we reduce betraying ourselves. But it doesn't mean by disappointing someone, it's always going to betray yourself, because I believe there is a way to disappoint others by elegantly responding instead of impulsively reacting. And it's so much easier when we're rested, we have enough energy, we have enough capacity in our bucket, our energetic bucket, so that we were able to respond elegantly. Okay, so let's have some examples. So if somebody invites you for a party or a meeting or coffee or whatever, and you don't really want to go, say thank you for the invitation. Unfortunately, I've got prior commitments and I won't be able to make it. Just simple. You don't explain what the commitments are. I mean, sometimes even if I'm just tired and I don't really want to, and I don't really have anything planned and we're just at home, that is a commitment. It's a commitment to myself. It's a commitment to myself. Another another thing that you could to let's say somebody's introduced you an opportunity and it's just like you don't have the energy for it. So you could say, thank you for thinking or considering me. My capacity is full at the moment, and I won't be able to give the attention and energy that this project needs. Simple. Okay. So you could have some scripts in your back pocket so that anything that comes up, then you can kind of brings it up. Okay. There's another one. What just ago? Oh yeah, yeah. So if somebody wanted to talk or like pour out their heart to you in terms of like problems and everything, and you're just not in the right space. So it's like, I can see this is important to you. I want to make sure I'm in a good space before I can give you the support you need. Like that. Let's look at this another day, or give me 2 or 3 days. So that's a good way as well, because you're not closing them off. So you're kind of sandwiching it, you're kind of thanking them for coming to you, for offering the opportunity, for asking you, and then can tell them you're not available, so you're going to disappoint them. Okay. And then you can sandwich it, you can finish it, and thank you again, for the invitation. I hope you have a wonderful time, or hope it goes well. Well, you didn't even say that, you can just close it there and say, thank you again. I'll speak to you soon. So have a few back pocket sayings, and then that will give you some armory to say it out. Okay. Because by doing that, disappointing others is not being rude. If somebody says you're rude, okay, it's not the act of disappointing them, but it's maybe the energetic way that you convey it. Because if they say that you're rude for disappointing them, it's not on you, it's on them. Okay, so they have an expectation, but they are disappointed because they didn't get what they want. So they're being a child for throwing their toys out of the pram because they didn't get their want. Okay, but then sometimes you don't know what do they want and what do they expect. So all you can do is really protect yourself. So disappointing others is almost like an act of self-love because you want to protect your energy, your peace before you lose yourself. Okay, and that is the most important thing. So let's try this exercise in the next week. Think of something that you can safely say no to and just practice saying no, in different ways. No, that doesn't suit me at the moment. No, that doesn't sound that doesn't sound appealing, or no thank you, that's not for me. Slowly, safely say no, because micro micro practice will slowly build your confidence. Okay, and you can also use the phrase, can I get back to you on this one? I just want to make sure I think about this properly before I give you your answer. Yeah, so can I get back to you on this one, or I'll need to get back to you on this one. Okay, so try that. So, summary: disappointing others is an invaluable skill that you need to balance your hormones and protect your skin to glow as you age. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.